Good day and welcome to our review of that. That is the Hisense 55A6KV television. Now, what is that exactly? Well, that is a 4K, which means it's high resolution. It's 55-inch diagonal from one side to the other, not along the bottom, but diagonally. So as you can see, this comes in a 43-inch, 50-inch, 55-inch, 58-inch, 65-inch, and 75-inch in the A6KV series. And what we're about to say applies to pretty much all of them. And we're going to go over some specs with this, then we're going to unbox this with some help from some friends, and we're going to show you how it actually operates. Now, when we go over the specs, we're not going to dive into it in a big nerdy way, and again, we'll make this quick. So if you just want to know if it's a good TV, yeah, it's a good TV. But let's go over a couple of things that you probably want to know. The colors on this. So this lists itself as an HDR plus 10 TV. It's a bit misleading. If the plus comes after the 10, it means something. If the plus comes before the 10, it means nothing. And that's this. By the way, HDR is great. What it gives you is on the same screen, on the same image at the same time, it gives you higher contrast. So you get blacker blacks and brighter brights on the same image at the same time. So it really makes a difference. HDR is something you're going to want. Now, HDR also defines the brightness. It's what we call it in the business is nits, N-I-T-S. You don't have to know that, okay? A standard definition TV runs at about 100 nits. This runs, in theory, at 1,000 nits, but it doesn't actually. When you look at the detailed spec, you see it actually runs at 300. So it's only 3 times as good as a regular TV, not 10 times. Oh my, who cares? Sound. On this Hisense A6KV screen consists of 2 things you need to know. One, it has 2 8-watt speakers, so about 16 watts in total. That's a little under the performance spec that you see in better TVs these days from Sony and LG and wherever else, but certainly much better than what we used to get built into screens. It was normal back in the day, and I mean back in the day like, 5-10 years ago, to have 4-watt speakers, 2 of those. So 8 watts, plenty of sound, going to be fine for almost every application. However, if you don't like it, it also has DTS Virtual X. And you think, oh, more technical crap. No, it's really simple. You can plug a sound bar in along the bottom, a cheap sound bar, not one with all of the speakers around, just a cheapie. And it can use DTS Virtual X. What Virtual X does is simulate surround sound. So it will make the sound feel like it's coming down from low. It's also coming up high, say it was a plane or something you were watching. And it also will make it seem like it's coming from behind you, which is kind of cool. Virtual X does support more speakers, so if you have a full surround sound system, it will make it even richer. And I'm just going to use the speakers that are built in. 16 watts of power, more than enough for me. Now let's talk about ARC for a second, eARC. ARC is the audio return channel. You might know if you had a sound bar or something in the past, what could happen is the sound could get out of sync with what's on the screen. And ARC fixed that, eARC fixed that. And eARC is the next gen of that. It's enhanced. It also has HDMI CEC, which is Consumer Electronics Control. That's something you probably care about. And what that lets you do is manage and control more than one device at the same time. So if you turn on your PlayStation, for example, it can also then turn on the TV and change the inputs to the correct input on the TV. That's a nice feature. Now, Hisense used to produce primarily Roku TVs. If you're not familiar with what Roku is, don't worry about it. It's not important for this, other than this isn't a Roku TV. This is now a VIDAA, VIDAA. And what is that? It's just an operating system like Windows or Mac OS. And you think, oh, I don't want to learn something new. Don't worry about it. It's really, really simple. As you can see on the box, VIDAA will support all of the apps that almost everybody cares about. You can run Netflix, you can run Prime, you can run Disney. You've got all of the usual stuff here, including some advanced things like Plex, which we have and we quite like. If you're not familiar with Plex, don't worry about it. We're not going to go into it here because it's just too complex. Now that gets to a good point. We bought this at Costco, and you might think, oh, Costco is paying for it or Hisense is paying for it. No, this is completely honest. So hey, if you find this review useful, hey, please give us a big thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. We're going to unbox it in a minute and set it up and show you how it operates, what ports to use, so on and so forth. and then we're going to give you a full review. This is just an honest review because we bought this for someone in the family. Let's go over why we bought it at Costco. Hisense comes with a great warranty. They give you a 1-year warranty, and you think, it's pretty much the same as everybody, buddy, not that interesting. Wrong. It's in-house. They will come to your house and change it out or fix it, which is great for 1 year. Now, why would you buy it at Costco? A couple of reasons. One, Costco doubles that warranty, so that's 2 years of in-house. And I can tell you, I have bought many dozens of screens because I do a lot of corporate work, and so I have to buy a lot of these kinds of things. And I have had one of these screens die over the years. Actually, I'm not even sure it was a Hisense, but I have had one from Costco. And they sent a couple of guys in, and they took it away and gave me a new one, which was epic. All I had to do was take it off the wall because I had it mounted. If you're not mounting it, you don't even have to do that. They'll just box it up, take it away. So that's great. So you double your warranty with Costco. You have a 90-day return policy with them. Also, if you have a price drop that occurs, you can go to the service counter and they will give you that money back. So that's a big deal. I've done that many, many, many times with Costco where there's been a price decrease and ended up with an extra few bucks in my jeans. And the last reason to buy it from Costco as far as price goes is if you buy it on your Costco card, which I did, you get 2% cash back. You might ask, what did I pay for this thing? Well, it's listed at $450 Canadian. So let's call it, I don't know, $325 US, something like that. But there's $50 off this week. So I paid $396 for this. That is a smoking deal. That's about $280 US. And there's a couple more things you should know about this. The first thing is it supports voice command from Alexa and Google Home. This is a Google Home, which means I can turn it on and turn it off with voice command from my other Google Home devices. And the last thing before we get to unboxing this is VRR. And you might ask, what the heck is VRR? That sounds like more techno crap. Yeah, and it kind of is if you're just going to use it as a TV. However, if you have a PlayStation or an Xbox or any other gaming console, yeah, you probably want VRR. That's variable rate refresh, and it makes a big difference on high-end games. So hey, let's show you the box, then we'll take the box off and set it up. Like I said, it supports all of the apps, and most notably, Google Home and Alexa. Yay. There's that 2-year warranty we were talking about. The exact model, and there's nothing else much on the box other than the inputs. So if you want to see what those inputs are, there they are. But we'll show them to you in just a moment. Okay, so here we are with my Ukrainian assistants. The 10 and 12-year-olds are going to lift this very heavy 24-pound box. If they can lift it, you can lift it. It's not that heavy. Now there's a trick with these, which is to turn it upside down and lift the box off. And that is the easy way to unbox this. Yeah. Let's take a quick look at the ports. What you have here are RCA ports, which nobody's going to use. Okay, if you have an old video camera, I might use it.
There is a 1 gig Ethernet port.
Which you can use, but you're probably not going to because you're almost certainly going to use the 802.11ac Wi-Fi. So I'm certainly going to. It also has digital audio out, a TV tuner, old school coax. Why might you want that even in today's modern world? Digital antennas, that's why. If you get yourself a digital antenna, you might have a use for that. You also might have a use for that if you want to connect an old Nintendo. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner showing you how to connect your Nintendo to a screen like this. Then there are 2 USB ports which you can use for things like a media player. So if you've downloaded a movie or something and you want to play it, you can pop it on there and use the integrated video player app to play your movie. Then there's HDMI 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you look closely at this, you will see that they're all 60 hertz, which is 60 times per second the screen will refresh if you're running in 4K. That's a fine refresh rate, but I understand it will actually run at 120 hertz if you're only running 1080p. And if you don't know what that means, I'll explain it in just a second. Now this is the useful port. This is the one you're going to use, HDMI port 1, 4K 60 hertz. And you'll notice it says it's got eARC, which is the enhanced audio return channel. So let's spend 10 seconds on screen resolution. There's really two screen resolutions you're going to care about. One is the old high definition or 1080p. And all that means, or you can also call it 2K. What that means is that there's 2,000 dots across the top. 1080 means 1080 up and down. It's literally the pixels, the dots on the screen. Now, if you have a 4K screen like this, which almost everything is today, it's got double the number. It's 4,000 pixels across. Actually, I think it's 3860 is the normal number. But basically, it's a lot of dots. Why do you care about that resolution? Well, because the more dots there are, the clearer things are. Now, this TV will upscale, and it will do a damn good job of it. So when you have content that comes on TV, for instance, that's not 4K, it's 1080p, this will upscale it and it will make it look crisper than the actual original. And while we're on some techno specs, HDR brings colors. So a standard definition screen will put out 16 million colors. And you think, that's a lot of colors. I mean, how many shades of green are included in 60, if there's 16 million colors in all of them? Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, but an HDR screen will have all, the combinations work out to about 1 billion. So yeah, that's a big number. In other words, the colors are much more realistic. Will you notice it if you don't have them? No. Will you notice it if you have one side by side with another screen? Oh yeah, you can really see it. Here's the remote. You can see it's got a bunch of pre-programmed buttons on it, from Netflix to Disney to Plex, which makes it a little easier for flipping around if you want to use the smart TV part and you're not using a cable box like I am. It also comes with cheap batteries. They'll last a while, but you're probably going to want to get some. They're AAAs, not doubles, if you need to get replacements. All that is going to do is allow you to set it up on your phone faster than you can set it up on your remote. But because this is a TV, we're going to set it up using the remote. You can see there's a lot of apps here. Disney, Crave, Apple TV, Prime, Tubby, Paramount Plus, NBA, just goes on and on and on. It's a terrible icon. Let's click on that. That's your input at the top, so you can say I'd like it to be on the HDMI 1 or HDMI 2 or AirPlay or screen share. That's a good point. This actually also allows you to mirror your phone or tablet to the big screen. That can be very helpful. Let's go to the TV here.
Into next year's renewals on things like mortgages, those individuals, their rates are typically...
All right, let's change to Vivid, Standard, Energy Saving, just dimmer, Theater during the day, that's quite a difference, Theater at night, even darker, Sports, that'll be Vivid. Now I'm going to go back to Enhanced ACR. Let's press the Home button and go look at some of the apps. We'll skip the setup for now, but if I wanted to sign in, I could.
A practitioner to call your own.
Wow, is that clear? You can see how smooth this is. Very nice. Let's go through the gear. Sound, connections. Beautiful. Hey, we'll put a companion video in the top right-hand corner here on how to set this up with Google Home or Alexa. But just to prove that it works, take a listen. Okay, Google, turn off the TV.
All right, turning the living room TV on.
Okay, Google, turn the TV on.
Okay, turning the living room TV on.
Okay, Google, Netflix on the living room TV.
Sure, launching Netflix on the living room TV.
Pretty cool. Now the question is, do you want to bother with that, or do you just want to use the voice command that's built right into the remote, which I'll just use here. So press it. YouTube. Bingo. Disney Plus. Let's go down to Advanced Settings, Enhanced Viewer Settings, go down to Support, and over to System Update, and let's see if there's an update. Isn't that nice? Already current. Let's go down to VIDAA channels. Very much like Roku, but not near as much content as Roku, but there's still lots of content.
Brilliant. Now, of course, we came here more out of concern for you.
And go to Afterlife from 2009 with our good friend Liam Neeson. See what that looks like.
Inflates. Seriously, good scent. As if you were still alive.
Okay, that's creepy. That's enough. Yeah, so all of this is for free, other than you get ads on it. That's just fine. Didn't pay for it. All right, so let's give you our review of the Hisense 55A6KV television. Pretty damn impressed. This cost us $400 Canadian. Let's call it $280 US. It's 55 inches diagonal from there to there. It's 4K. It got HDR, all of these things we've already explained. It has all the audio outputs you would want. It can accept an antenna. It can accept game inputs with variable refresh rate, which is a big deal for game consoles. Its refresh rate is 60 frames per second. So is this the best TV on the market? No. Is this the best TV you're going to get for $280 US? Yeah, probably. This is the biggest bang for your buck. And I know this because I bought it, and I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think it was the biggest bang for the buck. So hey, if you found this video useful, please give us a big thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or concerns, you can get a hold of us directly at www.urtech.ca. That's www.urtech.ca. Or you can leave a question or a comment below. And if we don't get back to you, somebody else will, because on YouTube, everybody has an opinion. Have a great day. Bye-bye.